Hello everyone, today we're learning Bobikame Daf Tzadik Beis. We're going to start from the Mishnah. Afal Pishu Noisin Loi, even though that you pay for the boishes, like we learned in the last Mishnah, depends what embarrassment he calls, but you have to pay. Einim Chaloi, it's not forgived for him. Until he asks Mechila from the person he embarrassed. Shenemar, like it said in the Pasuk. V'ato Eishe Oshev, the Pasuk over there is talking about Avram, and I think it was Avimelech, and yeah, it was Avimelech, and Avimelech thought Sarah was his sister, and he took him for a wife, and then Hashem punished him. So it says over there in the Pasuk, Hashem tells Avimelech, V'ato Eishev is V'ato Eishev, now give back the Sarah to Avram, ki novihu, because of the novi, ve'ispalel ba'atcha, and he'll pray for you, v'chiyeh, and you live. So we could see sorry about that. We could see over there that it's not only that you need to give her back, he also needed Avram to daven for her, and if Avram davens for him, it means Avram's moichel him, otherwise Avram wouldn't daven for him, so we could see you need mechila. How do you know that the person who got embarrassed needs to be moichel? Says the Gemara, Shenemar, because we learned, says the Mishnah, it says in the Pasuk, Ve'ispalel Avram el Elokim, Avram daven to Hashem, Ve'irape Elokim es Avimelech, and Hashem made Avimelech better. So we could see from Avram's midas arachamim, and he davened for him. So you can see midas rachamim is to forgive. So obviously midas achzoris is not to forgive. Someone who tells Reuven tells Shimon, blind my eye, kotes yodi, cut off my hand, shaber is ragli, break my leg, chayev. And the person Shimon listens and does it, he needs to pay. Amenas lifto, if he said even more clear, he said, take my eye out, and almenas lifto, still chayev. It doesn't help you, still chayev. Cries Ksusi, but if he said, tear my jacket, Shvar Eskadi, break my barrel, Chayev. Even though that he did, you need to pay. Amenas Liftor, if he said with a tnai, that if you do it, you'll be potter, then you are potter, not like what we said before, and we're going to see in the Gemara what's the difference. Aseken leish ploini Amenas Liftor, if Reuven tells Shimon, go tear Levi's jacket, and you won't have to pay chayev. So Shimon needs to pay. Bein begufoi, bein be'mamoina, it doesn't matter if he told him to damage Levi in his guf, to knock his eye out, or break his leg, or bein be'mamoina if he just told him to tear Levi's jacket. Turn Rabbanon, Rabbanon learned, Kol elu she'omru, all the ones that we say to me, boishtoi, the price for the boishes, for embarrassment, aval tsaroi, but for the pain he caused him, afilu evi kol eli nevoyesh ba'olam, even if he brought all the korbanos to Beis Hamikdash, einim chaloi, there's no mechila for him from Shemayim, ad sheyivakesh mimeno, until he asks him mechila. Shenemar, it said in the Pasuk, like we learned in the Mishnah, Oshev Eishes Eish, give back the married woman kinovihu, because he's a novi, ve'ispalel ba'atcha. So we could see from there, like we said in the Mishnah, that you need to ask mechila, because we need him to daven for you. What's the davening? It's basically saying he's moichel. Now the Gemara asks a question about this pasuk. The Eishes Novi Boya Adura, the reason why Avimelech has to give back this Sarah is because Avram's a Novi. Eishes Acher, if it was a woman, a married woman of someone who's not Novi, Loi Boya Adura, you're allowed to take her? It doesn't make no sense. She's a Eishes Ish. Omar Rab Shmuel bar Nachmani, Omar Rab Yochanan explains what's pshat. Oshev Eishes Ish Mikol Mokoy, give her back anyway, even if her husband's not novi. Vede ka'omris, and what Avimelech said then to Hashem, Agoygam tzadik taroig. Avimelech said, Hashem, why you want to kill me? Why are you punishing me? I didn't do nothing wrong. Halo you are li achoisi. Avram said she's my sister. Ve'i gam omer, V'i gam hi omer, and she herself, Sarah, said, Achiu, it's my brother, I did nothing wrong, I never knew she was a Eishes Ish. And that Hashem tells him, Novi he's a Novi, v'kvar limed, and we know, Achsanoi, a visitor, Shebolo Ir, who comes to a new city, when you meet him, what do people ask him? They ask him, do you have a place to sleep? Do you have a place to eat? Do you have a place to drink? Or do you ask him about, is he your wife or is he your sister? So basically over here they asked him, why were you asking if it's your wife or sister? Obviously he had intention. That's why he lied to you and he said it was his sister, because he was scared. Because you're not meant to ask him such questions. All you're meant to ask him is, does he have a place to eat? Mikan, from here we learn that someone who's a ben noach, he deserves to get killed, because he should have known how to behave and not to ask about if she's married or not. Just to ask if you have where to eat. And because Avimelech didn't ask, he asked about if she's a sister or married or whatever, and then Avram had to lie to him, he nearly got killed. It says over there in the Pasuk, Otzar Hashem. Hashem stopped. It's in the Pasuk, it says twice Otzar. All the pregnancy, the rechem, in Beis Avimelech it says, Ki Otzar Hashem bad kol rechem in Beis Avimelech. Omer Rabbeloza, Shtei Atzirus alolu lomo. Why did it say twice Otzor? Achos beish, one in the man, Shichva Zera, that didn't come out, Shichva Zera. Shtein beisha, for a woman, two things didn't work. Shichva Zera v'leida. No one in Beis Avimelech, no woman could have Shichva Zera, no woman could give birth. B'masnisel Tana in the Bryce it says, Shtein beish, two Atzirus in the man were those Shichva Zera, like we said before, v'ktanim, and also not going to the toilet. Shloisha beisha, and three atzirus in the woman, Shichva Zera, v'ktanim, v'leida. So in this masinsa we add in ktanim also to the man and also to the woman. Ravina Omar Sholosh beish, Shichva Zera, ktanim, upiatabas, and also someone who needs to go to the toilet, not ktanim, abra beisha, and four things in the woman, Shichva Zera, V'leido and birth, v'ktanim, small toilet, v'piatabas, and gdoilim. Ba'ad kol rechem. It says all rechem. Amri diber Rav Yana, it says Rav Yana, afilu tarangoyim shebeis Avimelech, even the chicken in the house of Avimelech lo itila b'itzosa, she couldn't have an egg. Omali Rava le Rabba bar Mori. Rava told Rabba bar Mori, and we're going to see many cases, he asked him, Shaila, where do we know people say something, and where do we know it from? We know how Milsa, where's the source for this? The Omer Rabbanon, the Rabbanon say, Kol ha'mevakesh rachamim al chaveroi. If Reuven asks Hashem for rachamim on Shimon, that Shimon, that he should find the shidduch, v'utzorich lo yisodov, and Reuven needs the shidduch, Huna natchila, Hashem will first give Reuven and shidduch, and then Shimon. Omalei dichsiv, it said in the Pasuk, v'Hashem Shov eshvus Yov beispaleloi be'adreu. Hashem listened to the tefillah of Yov when he davened for his friend. Omalei, Rava told Rabba bar Mori, Atomarat mi'osom, that's your source. V'ano min ha'mocha, I have another source. What we're learning over here, beispalel Avram el Eloikim, and Avram davened to Hashem, ve'irap Eloikim es Avimelech, and Hashem made Avimelech better, ve'es ishtoi ve'amoisov, his wife and his slaves. V'ksiv, and it says later on, Hashem pokad ishsora kasher omar. And what does it mean kasher omar? Kasher omar Avram el Avimelech. That Hashem listened to the tefillah of Avram for Avimelech, and he was mekayim it in Avram. And Rashi said that Hashem pokad is mashma in the past, already before Avimelech got saved. Hashem was pokad as Avram. So we could see unen et tchila. Omali Rava le Rabba bar Mori, so how do we know the thing, the Amri Inshi, that people say, Be'ad Utza Loki Karver, that because of the thorns, the cabbage gets ruined. Meaning when you pull out, sometimes you'll pull out a big thorn, and next to it is a cabbage, and the cabbage will also come out the ground and get ruined. So because you're a neighbor of someone bad, of a thorn, you get ruined. Omalei, he told him, the Chsiv said in Pasuk, Lomo terivu olai kulchem poshatem binu Hashem. It says a Pasuk in Irmia that Hashem told Irmia, why are you fighting? Kulchem poshatim, you all did wrong. Now Irmia was a big tzaddik, why was he a posher? So we're saying that we could see that if you hang around with Rishoyim, you also consider the Poshea. Omalei Rava told Rabbi Bar Mori, Atomrat Meosam, your sources from Irmia, Vanomino Mocha, have another source from the Torah itself. It says Hashem told Moshe and Aaron, Ono me'antem lishmor mitzvosai v'tirosi. Until when are you going to not listen to my Torah and mitzvahs? Now Moshe and Aaron kept the Torah and mitzvahs. He was really talking about Klal Yisrael, but Hashem includes them because it's like the form on the cabbage. Omalei Rava told Rabbi Bar Mori, it says in the Pasuk, Umiktsas ochiv lokach chamisha noshim, that Yosef showed Paroi some of his brothers. Mani nu chamisha, who are these 5 brothers? Omalei ochi omar Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Yochanan explains Oisom shehuchbalu b'sheimois, and Rashi explains in the brachas Moshe to Klal Yisrael. He says to Don and Zvulun God v'Osha Naftali. He said the words twice. He said twice Don. He said twice Naftali, and the reason why, because they are the weaker shvatim, and Moshe wanted to give them extra strength, and that's why Yosef showed them to Paroi to show the weak ones that if you see the strong ones like Yehuda, he'd say, "Ooh, maybe you should work in my army." So Yosef didn't want that Paroi should take his brothers, so he took his weak brothers. As the Gemara, Yehuda nami ichbelu michbal. Yehuda also, it says twice Yehuda in the brachas of Moshe. So, and we know there's only 5. Yehuda wasn't shown to Yosef, to Paroi. Omalei lemilsu dehichbal. There's for a different reason why Yehuda was doubled. The Omar Rab Shmuel bar Nachmani, Omar Rab Yochanan, Yonason, Maidichsi. What's pshat in the pasuk? Yichi Ruven val Yomois v'yimesav mispa v'zoif liYehuda. We darshan kol oifim abrahim shana sheyisrael b'midbar. In the time when Israel were in the Midbar and they took out all the shvatim from Mitzrayim to bury them in Eretz Yisrael. Oyu atzmoisav, not only Yosef's atzmois, also all the other shvatim. Oyu atzmoisav shel Yehuda megulgolim ba'aron. They were separated. They were not in one piece. They were rolling around the box of the keva. Achebo Moshe, until Moshe came, ubikesh rachamim. He asked rachamim to Hashem to get him better. Omar lefonov, he said to Hashem, Ribono shel olam, the master of the world. Mi goram leReuven sheyoda, who made Reuven being moida about the thing that he swapped the beds of Yaakov, of Rachel and Leah, that Yaakov should spend more time with Leah. Who made him admit that it was him? Yehuda. It was Yehuda who caused it, because Yehuda said with Tamar, he said, Tzodak mimeni, he didn't kill Tamar, and he said, oh, it was me who slept with Tamar and he was moida. So Reuven was impressed and he said, wow, Yehuda could be moida like this, I'll also be moida on my mistakes. So Moshe was telling Hashem, look, because of Yehuda, Reuven was moida, miyad shom Hashem kol Yehuda, al ivrei l'shoppa, all his bones got back together. They were not letting Yehuda get into the Beis Medrash and Shemaim. So Moshe said, so Hashem brought him in. He was in Beis Medrash, but he had no idea what they're talking about. Rabbanon, what Rabbanon was saying, and to learn with them, he couldn't discuss learning with them, he couldn't understand anything. So Moshe said, Yodov Rov Loi, and Hashem made him understand. He was learning with the Rabbanon in Shemaim, but his learning was not liba de ilchasa. So Moshe davened ve'eza mitzorav tia, and then his learning became a liba de ilchasa. Omalei Rava leRabba bar Mori minoho milsa. How do we know this? The Amri Inchi, that people say Bosar Aniya Azla Niusa, that poorness goes after poor people, that someone who's poor, he gets even more poor, and it's more difficult. Says the Gemara, Omalei, so Rabbi Bar Mori told Rava, Omalei Ditnan, we learned in the Mishnah, Ashirim, rich people, Mevim, Bikurim, they bring the first grown fruits, Bekal Toishel Zov, in baskets made out of gold, Vishel Kesef, V'anim, and poor people, Besoli Nitzorim, Shel Arava Klufa, and baskets made out of peeled Arava. Asalim ve'abikurim, and the poor people, the baskets, and the bikurim noisim lakoyanim, they give it to the koyanim and they don't get it back. Masha'inkin, the rich people get their baskets made out of gold and silver back. So we could see if you're rich, the richness stays with you. You don't take away your baskets. Masha'inkin oni, he brings the baskets and he never gets it back. Omalei, Rava told Rabbi Bar Mori, Atomat me'osom, that's your source for the Mishnah. V'ano amina me'ocha, I have another source. It says v'tome ikar ikra. It says about someone who's a mitzora, not only that he's a mitzora, he needs to say that he's a tome, so we could see together with his poorness that he has mitzoras. He also has to be embarrassed and say to everyone that he's tome. What's the source for what Rabbanon say? Ashkem ve'echol bakayt, wake up early and eat in the morning. Pashachris mipnei achama, from the sun in the summer. V'chorif mipnei asina, and it will protect you from the wind, from the coldness in the winter. V'armi inchi, and people say shitin ru'uti road, 60 people chased after. V'loi motu, and they can't run as fast. Legavra de mats for a korach, someone eats breakfast in the morning. So where do we know this, that breakfast is good for you? He said it said in Pasuk, Lo yuvru, they won't be hungry, v'lo yitzmo, and they won't be thirsty, v'lo yakem shora v'shemesh, and the sun won't cause them damage. So we could see if you eat, the sun doesn't damage you, it helps you against the sun. He told him, I have another source, and we say the Kriya Shema, to read Kriya Shema in the morning, with tefillah and davening, and he'll bless your food, and your water. That if you eat bread in salt and amount of water, the continuation of the pasuk from here onwards, and I'll take away any illness from you. So we could see from here that if you eat in the morning, it takes away illnesses. V'tanya, and we learned in the Brisa, machlo zu moro. Machlo is considered moro, it's a type of illness. V'loma nikum shmo machlo, and why they're called machlo? Sheshmoinim v'shloisha chaloim yeshbo. That moro has 83 type of illnesses. Machlo is gematria ochihavu. It's 83. Mem is 40. 8 is ches is 8. So that's 48. Another lamed is 78, and another 5. It's 83. Vikulon, all these illnesses, paspa melach, bread with salt, shachris in the morning, vikito in shelmaim, an amount of water mevatlom. It takes away all these illnesses. Where do we know this? The Rabbanon said, if your friend calls you a donkey, put yourself a saddle on your back and behave and be a donkey. Behave, like, accept what he said. Sorai, hey mizebot, the Malach told Hagar that you're the Shifcha of Sorai. Where are you coming from? And where are you going to? Vatoima, and Hagar answered, Mifnei Sorai gvirti, from my master Sorai, Neichi Barachas, I'm running away. So we could see the Malach put her down and said, you are Shifcha of Sorai, and she went, followed it, and said, yeah, she's my master. So it's like if someone calls you a donkey, so agree with it. It's an interesting thing. What the source from what people say, something bad about you, say, tell people about it before they find out by themselves. He said, it said in the Pasuk, it says by Eliezer, when he came to get Shidduch for Yitzchok, the first thing he said is, I'm a slave. He didn't need to say, he could have said, I'm the master. No, but that's the first thing he quickly said, I'm the slave. Don't think I'm the master. What's the source for what people say? Shopil ve'ozil bar Avza. The goose goes with a nova. The enemy taife, but he's not embarrassed to have his eyes up and look for food. Meaning, whenever you need something from someone, don't be embarrassed to ask it. Don't be a balgaiva, ask what you need. Malay told him, it says in the Pasuk, Hashem la'adoni v'zocharti es hamoscha. It's a Pasuk about David. And there was a lady who was married to Novel, and she was still married to him, and she told David, Hashem will protect you. And she said, remember me later on. Meaning she wasn't embarrassed to ask her to ask David that he should remember her. And really at the end, Abigail, who told David this, got married to David after Novel died. How do we know the thing that people say, Shitin tachli matia lekocha, 60 pains come to your teeth, the kol chavrei shama. Meaning when you hear your friend eating and you're hungry, it's very painful. Or when you see someone getting something that you want, that you need, and you see your friend getting it, you also want it. And he sees your friend eating and doesn't eat. It said in the Pasuk, he said, it's talking also about David, he said, to me, your slave, that he didn't call him for the party. I think it was of Shalom, he was saying that he didn't call him for the party, so we could see that they were upset that they were not invited. You say from there, I have another source. And Yitzchak brought his wife Rivka to the tent of Sarah's mother. He took Rivka Kedushin Vatila Leisha and made her his wife, and he loved her. And then Yitzchak got calmed down after the death of his mother, Sarah. What did it say afterwards? Avram went and he took a woman who her name is Keturah. That means he saw that Yitzchak got married. He said, I also want to get married, and he married again. Some people say Keturah was Hagar. What the source, what people say, that you go to a party and you get you have the guy pouring you the wine, and he tell him, thank you so much for the cup of wine you gave me. But really, where did the wine come from? The wine comes from the master of the party, the one who paid for the wine, not for the guy who poured it. But you tell thank you to the guy who poured it. So Chamer Lemori, the wine belongs to the master, but Tivusa, the gratefulness is Lashaki, to the one who poured you the wine. It says in the Pasuk, that Moshe was soymech yodov on Yeshua Binun, Leman Ishmun Veron Kol Adas Yisrael, that everyone should know that he's your mamshich, he's your continuation, he's the manigader. Viksiv, it says afterwards, Yeshua Binun Mole Ruach Chochma, Kisomach Moshe is Yodov Olov, Veishmu Olov Kol Bnei Yisrael. And it says, you know why Yeshua was filled of Chochma? Is because Moshe put his hands on him. But why was Yeshua Mole Chochma for real? Because Hashem gave him the Chochma. Al Yidei Moshe, of course. But Moshe was only the shliach, he was like the butler. But we still say Moshe. So we could see people remember the butler more than really who paid for the wine. What's the source for what people say? Kalba bekanfei, a dog when he's starving, glale mivla, he'll even eat stones. It said in the Pasuk, nefesh svar, someone who's satisfied, tovus neufesh, even something sweet, he's satisfied, he doesn't want. The nefesh re'eva, someone who's hungry, kol mar motik, even something that's bitter is sweet in his eyes. So we could see from there that when you're hungry, anything's tasty. So also a dog, it means when you're hungry, you'll eat anything. What the source for what people say, the bad palm tree, gabe kina de sarchi. And a bad palm tree that doesn't bring any fruit grows next to trees that don't bring any fruit. Basically, the saying means that someone bad goes with bad people. He told him, it's written in the Torah, Shona ben Nevim, and it's repeated in the Nevim, and it's repeated the third time in the Ksuvim. And it's written in the Mishnah, and it's written in the Braisa. And if you're going to, what's the source? Kosubater, it said in the Pasuk, Vayelech Esav and Ishmael. Esav went to Ishmael, and they both were Shoim, and they went to hang out together. Shona ben Nevim, who repeated in the Nevim, Dichsi Vayslaktu Eliftoch, who was a bad person, and Noshim Reikim. Vayu Imoy, empty people gathered around him. Umeshulosh, and it repeated the third time, Beksuvim Dichsiv Kol Oif Lemino Ishkoin. All the birds, the type of birds hang out together. Ubnei Adam ledoimiloi, and a person, people hang out with people similar to them. It's written in the Mishnah, something that's touching a tomedika thing is also tome. So we could see they hang out, the tmeim hang out together. But if it's mechubal Torah, it's Torah. V'tanina bebraisa, and we learned in the braisa, Rabbi Eliezer oimak loy lechinam olach. The machloikis if a zarzer is a kosher bird or not, and Rabbi Eliezer says not for no reason olach zarzer etel oiv. We see the zarzer is the type of bird hanging around by a oirev. It's the same type, so we could see the same type of people hang around. And it reminds me of saying that people say, you want me to tell you how rich you are? Show me who are the 5 closest friends of yours, and I'll see the average. That people, let the rich people hang out together, poor people, Rishoyim, Tzadikim, similar idea. Omali Rava, the Rabba Bar Mori, Minoho Milsa de Amri Inchi, that people say, Koris Chavroch Veloy Onoch. If you told off your friend about something wrong he's doing and he's not listening, Romi Guda, Rabba Shadi Bey. Don't help him get better. If he doesn't want to listen to you and he wants to keep doing sins, don't help him. Push on him a big fence. Let him fall in his rishus. Because I tried helping you to become Torah, and he didn't become Torah from your tumah, I'm not going to help you anymore. What's the source for? People say a well that you drank from, don't throw earth in it. Have respect, have a koras atoiv. It said in the pasuk, don't hate Adomi because he's your brother. Esau is our brother. And don't hate a Mitzri because you are ger. Even though that they were bad to us, but at the end of the day you were ger in his country, and we were in Mitzrayim for many years. You have to have a koras atoiv. What's the source for what people say? Idolis dura dalina. If you help me carry the load, I'll carry with you. If you don't help me, loy dalina, I'm not going to help you. It's basically someone comes to you and tells you, I want to come invest in this property. So he tells you, if you invest, I'll invest. Meaning, if you're taking the risk, I'm also taking the risk. I don't want to take the risk by myself. Omalei told him, it said in the pasuk, Vayomer le Barak told, I think it was Dvara Nevio, if I'm not mistaken, if you come with me, and I'll go. I'm not going to go alone. You say I should go to war over here. If you're not going to come with me, I'm not going. I'm not taking the risk by myself. What's the source for what people say? Kadavin and Zutri, when we were young, Legavri. We thought we're big, we thought we're great. Ashta de Kashisha, now that we old Ledartiki, we understand that we are shvelim like babies. Omalei meikor ksiv, at the beginning it says by Yetzias Mitzrayim, V'Hashem oilech lifneim yoimon b'amud onon al choisem aderech. The beginning, Hashem went himself in front of Bnei Israel to show them the way and to make light for them. But when they got older and they were longer in the midbar, Hashem only sent a malach. The darga went down, the darga didn't go up. Hashem sent a malach to help them, but not he himself. Shkoyach.